Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So today we have a Honda Highness with us, and this is one of my best friend's motorcycle. He just recently picked it up from a used market, and we are going to restore it completely. And initially this is in a pretty good condition itself, and there's nothing much we need to do on this, but however we need some things to be fixed on this motorcycle. Now what is the first thing? Initially when I brake it hard using a front brakes alone, I can find a clicking noise in the cone set. Initially when I was riding this motorcycle, I did not feel it but now when I ride it on an open end road and try to brake it suddenly just using the front brakes, I can find a ticking sound in the cone set area. So that means the cone set is pretty loose. We'll check it, and if it is actually required to be fixed, let's do the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bike to home and check and inspect if anything else has to be repaired. This comes with a fog lamp pre-installed by the previous owner, but this is not working currently, so I have to check why it is not and fix the fog lamp also. Let's see if the fog lamp itself is in a good shape, or is it the switch or the wiring that has been got damaged, and we'll inspect that and let's see if it can be fixed so that my friend will be happy. And at the same time, I see a lot of swirl marks on the paint which need to be removed, so I'll remove that as well. I'll show you how to do it. And at the same time, we have a collab done with a brand called as Car 1-on-1. I'm going to use their products to see if we can have a properly neat restored paint. At the same time, all the trims that has been grayed out, whether or not can be restored in a proper way. So this will be an interesting video, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching Archeonix. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to Archeonix and follow me on Instagram, and let's get into the video. Now this particular product is from Webex, and I have already made a dedicated video on how to use this waterless wash. I'll leave the link in the iCard above, you can check it out. Now let me do a waterless wash for this bike and I'll get back. So see you in the next day. Now this product that I received is from Car 1-on-1, and the box itself looks very neat and with a minimal design, and I liked it. Cut opening the box, we can get to see a product itself which is wrapped in plastic, after removing which you get a clean microfiber cloth along with the product itself, which is Tyre and Trim Restorer. The packaging in the product itself looks very premium and minimal, and on the bottle itself you get to see many informations regarding this product. Starting with where all we can use this product, like plastic, vinyl and rubber, which enables this product to be used on multiple surfaces on a motorcycle or even car. And on the back side of the bottle, you get to see how to use this product, which we can skip since I'm making this video for you. So keeping this aside, let's look into the microfiber cloth itself. The microfiber cloth has its own branding of Car 1-on-1, and the quality seems to be pretty impressive in the first impression. Now this Tyre and Trim Restorer is not the only product that we're looking into today. We have one more product from Car 1-on-1, and that is Graphene ceramic coating spray. And this one has a lot of promises. And on the side, you get a lot of information like this is the thinnest and most strongest material. It can enable you to protect against scratch, and also it's DIY friendly. It minorly removes swirl marks, and also it's chemical resistant. And since it's a graphene spray, this also ensures this is very gentle on cars. And also it reduces heat absorption. And that's a lot more to be promised in one particular product. So let's test it out and see how does it make a difference on my motorcycle which I'm going to work today. So let's get started. So it's day 2 and it's time to work on the motorcycle that we bought from my friend. And looking at the paint itself, you can see a lot of scratches and swirl marks. And before applying any product on this paint, I need to try to remove maximum swirl marks and scratches to make the paint look much better. And anyways, I'll show you how to do it. So before that, let me make a 2 divisions to understand how the paint looks before and after. Now I'm going to use a masking tape to divide these into 2 sections. However, please note that if I'm using any graphene spray on one side, it is anyways going to spill on the other side, which can actually mess up with the contrast. However, the paint beneath this masking tape is something that you can reference with the actual paint that we're going to work with. Now to remove the fine scratches and swirl marks, I'm going to use this 2K rubbing compound from Motomax, and this is one of the easily available product that you can buy from any local store. And also I'll leave the link to purchase this in the description below. Now in order to buff this 2K compound, I also bought this buffing pads from Amazon. Again, the link for which will be given in the description below. Now I'm going to take out this attachment head, and this has to be installed onto any drill that you have. I'm using a corded drill here. Make sure that you tighten this in place. Something like this. Now this attachment head has a velcro on which the buffing pads can be easily attached and removed. I'm going to attach this buffing pad as shown just by sticking onto it. Now I'm going to apply 2K rubbing compound on the painted surface, which requires the rubbing to be done, and using the drill and the rubbing pad, I'm going to gently spread this rubbing compound all over the surface, and then using a medium speed, I'm going to rub it entirely onto the painted surface. I'll fast forward this process. You can watch the video and enjoy. Once the rubbing is completed using the 2K rubbing compound, you can see all the glossiness of the paint is gone and it is almost like matte one. And you can see your blurred reflection, and this is pretty okay, which we are going to fix this anyways in the next step. Now to get back to all the glossiness, I'm going to use this 3M finishing compound, and again the purchase link will be there in the description below. Along with this, I'm also going to swap the rubbing pad just by removing it and adding a new one. And using this is pretty straightforward. Just like how you did with 2K compound, just spread it across onto your painted surface, and using the drill and the rubbing pad, just rub it entirely onto the paint surface. Once the compounding is done, use a clean microfiber cloth to wipe down the entire painted surface, and you can see how the paint looks shining like a brand new one. Also, you can see the reflections clearly, just like how you look into the mirror. Now you can stop at this point and continue riding your motorcycle, but this paint has a tendency to get faded away over time. Now that's where you need a product like graphene ceramic coating, which protects against the UV rays of the sun and keeps your paint shining like a brand new one. Applying this is pretty easy, but before we do that, let's decontaminate the paint because it has oils and residues from the previous compounding and finishing compound that we have done. So I'm going to use isopropyl alcohol to degrease the paint and clean it for the next step of giving it a nice graphene coat. Once the entire paint is cleaned and degreased, let's start applying the graphene ceramic spray. Using this is pretty straightforward. Open the lock that is there on the nozzle and spread on the graphene ceramic spray entirely on the painted surface that we already prepped, and let it soak for a couple of minutes. Once this is done, use the microfiber cloth that has been provided to buff it down entirely. Now let's look at the results. Now major scratches like this cannot be removed, and this actually requires a repainting, or instead of using a 2K rubbing compound, we might require something which is on the harder end. But apart from that, almost all the swirl marks has been removed, and you can see the finishing of the paint by yourself. Now for your reference, let's see how the actual paint looked like under the area that we masked. And oh boy, you see the difference in this. As mentioned earlier, while we were spraying the graphene ceramic spray, it added a gloss onto the paint which is also not treated. So that's the reason it has been showing darker black on the right hand side too. However, the area that we masked, which was covered completely, you can see the paint that was very dull compared to the paint that we already treated with. Now let me continue doing this on the other side of the tank too, and I'll show you the final results. So just like how we did the tank panels, off camera, I have also did the same treatment on the side panels too. Now that's not the only thing that we have to do to make this motorcycle shine like a brand new one. We need to also restore the trims and tires. So I'm going to use this car one-on-one tire and trim restorer, and using this is pretty easy. Opening the bottle cap and crack opening the seal, we get access to the spray nozzle which we can use directly onto the tires and trims. The application process is pretty straightforward. Just spray the trim and tire restorer onto the area which we need to restore and wipe it with a clean microfiber cloth. And it's as simple as that. Just like how we restored the tire, I'm going to also restore this trim which is pretty much scratched and dull in this case. Just spray down and wipe it with the clean microfiber cloth. The same method has been followed on the number plate lamp too, and also on the indicators. Let's see the final results. Now off camera, I also fixed the cone seat issue just by tightening it, and also replaced the switch for the fog lamps. And also the wiring has been redone and his fog lights is completely restored. Now good news for everyone watching this video. I'm going to give away 3 of this car one-on-one tire and trim restorer, and if you want to get this, just comment down #Archeonics and mention why do you need this product and where you're going to use this. And 3 lucky winners is going to get this one as a part of giveaway. Now the bike is completely restored and is looking like a brand new one. I'm going to give this motorcycle back to my friend and also made an interesting content. Now if you people like this video, as usual, do consider subscribing to Archeonics and follow me on Instagram for more such interesting content.